In this video, we are going to implement the basic validation in the registration form. Currently, we have the basic HTML5 validations as part of this default validation, but that's only for the required field. We don't have any validation for the unique email check. So we are going to implement this email check, duplicate email check. On click of submit, the control will come to this function, and here we will add our validations. Let's take the values provided by the user into variables. Also create one variable error to keep all the validation error messages. Next, we are going to get the data from the database by email. So we will use user.find, and in the query we will pass email, and this is going to return a promise. So use the then, and obviously use the catch also for handling the errors. Here we are going to check if the user object has any data. That means user.length is not 0. That means the email is duplicate email. So in that case, what we will do, we will put some message into this error array, and we will render the registration page again. And in the else part, we are going to create the user. This is not duplicate, so let's cut and paste the code to create the user in the database. And now let's come to the validation part. We will send the error. So res.render, we're going to render the registration page here again, and as a second parameter we're going to pass all the properties we want, in our case the error messages. But before that, create the error message. In the EJS file, we need to replace the message. That is, for email we will show the message that is returning from the server. So instead of this one, we can use EJS template, and there we'll need to check if error is undefined and error.email is also undefined. In that case, we'll show the message, otherwise blank. With this, we also need to add one class, since this is bootstrap form, and until we add this isInvalid class, it will not be displayed here. So let's check this one, whether this message has been shown or not. In the JS file, I had to change this one to use the spread operator to access the error messages in the EJS file. So after this one, we can simply use error.email and we can get the variables. You can see it is showing here already. Here we need to change the checking the if condition. It should be users.length. So it's always written the array, and if its length is blank, only then we can show the message, otherwise this is good to go. So let's try by adding a new email address, and this should not show any error message. So let's see what data is available there in the database. Currently we have only one, so let's hit the submit button. Let's try by adding a new user. So Jack, and give some email, the new email, and some password. Then let's check the database. Okay, let's delete this one and try to hit the submit. It is redirected to the plugin page, and here we will see this data has been entered in the database. So we are good on this part. Now let's try to register the same user once again and see whether we are getting the error message or not. This is working properly, so we getting the error message. In this case, this is a duplicate email. But the problem here, you see, whatever data user enter, all this getting lost. So to keep the data, what we are going to do here, we are going to pass all this data in the second parameter with the error messages, and this will send the data, and in the EJS file we can make use of this data to display in the value property. Now here let's add the value property and use the EJS syntax. Okay, let's check this out. Let's give some name, email, and hit the save. As you can see, this is working, though it's a name one, but we will change this one to email. This should work. Let's see. Copy the same into the name field. Remember, we have to change that email to name, but let's have a look first, then we will do this change. So this is the way we can show the error messages in the form, and also at the same time we can show the pre-filled data again in the form fields. Now next is our authentication and authorization. We'll see this one using passport.js will do,